Welcome to our second podcast. This one is going to be a topic on ultrasound and a little bit of background about both of us and why we got into this role and a little bit about the details. We are RDMS certified ultrasound techs, which means we're registered diagnostic medical sonographers. There are certain tests you have to take to be certified by the state. So we are here at Sac Life Center accredited ultrasound techs. So we do have the background in OB, abdomen, vascular. So there's a lot more to it than just OB. So Jasmine, what made you get into ultrasound?
I was really interested in ultrasound since like high school. So
Okay.
I guess I kind of already knew that that's what I wanted to do. And then I did go to college, and then after that, I applied for the program, and then it was a 2-year program, and it was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
What about you?
So me, I went to Gurnick Academy. It's an accredited accelerated program. It's 2 years. What made me go into ultrasound was when COVID happened, I kind of wanted to be part of the help. I kind of want to be part of the down in the dirt with the medical field and do something to help while doing it fast, because I do have 2 kids. So I needed to do a program that wasn't too long, but something to help in regards to when we had the pandemic. So I've always liked ultrasound. When I scanned my 2 babies, it was really impactful when they found the heartbeat on my daughter, because I had to go to a specialist because they couldn't find it. So the relief I felt when the ultrasound tech came in and found it was just something that was really impactful. So that's what made me go to initially start ultrasound program. What has impacted you the most being an ultrasound tech here?
I think just we have like a lot of hard cases, but I think even like the beautiful moments, like you're the first person that shows their mom, like a mom, like, you know, like you were saying earlier, like the heartbeat, that their baby's okay, and then just showing them, you know, their baby and then giving them pictures. So I think it's like a really beautiful moment that you share with them. And then, but also like, you know, it can be hard sometimes too when like a mom, you know, is undecided or really doesn't have that support, you know,
Yeah.
so that can be a little bit emotionally hard also. But, you know, we just try to, you know, show support and be there for the patients. And
Yeah,
I
our job is not always rainbows and butterflies,
Yeah.
as I tell people. I
Yeah.
mean, you tell people you're an ultrasound tech and they automatically think that your job is all happy all day, when there's a lot of times that we have to deliver bad news. People who've been trying to get pregnant for 5 years, they're finally pregnant and the baby doesn't have a heartbeat. It's really hard to deliver that kind of news to people who are excited. And on the reverse side, people who are abortion minded, and you just had a patient who is trying to have kids for 5 years, and this one wants to abort. I feel like when you're in the ultrasound room, it's hard to get together in your mind what to say to them, the right thing to say. So our job is not just physical, it's not just educational, but it's also emotional.
Definitely. Sometimes you take that home with you.
You try not to, but you know, it does impact you, which is why it's good that we have the counselor that we have monthly that they provide for us here. It's really good to be able to express all the heaviness that we have.
Definitely.
But in general, ultrasound is rewarding, because a lot of times, yes, we do get to deliver good news, point to the baby, point to the heartbeat, show them what is in there isn't just cells. It's a baby moving around. And we wanted to show you guys, we do have babies at different stages of the weeks. So we have 12 weeks.
This one's 12 weeks. And then this one is 16 weeks. And then this one is 22 weeks. And then this one is 26.
Yeah. So we'd like to show these to patients. And we also have small ones we show them that it's 7, 8, 9, and 10 weeks. It just kind of really gives them an idea of what stage their baby's at. Because a lot of people in the ultrasound room, we call it the magic room, right? Because that's where we show them the baby they're developing. So these are things that we like to show them.
And I think it makes a difference too. Like they're like, wow, like my baby already,
Yeah.
has like little arms, little legs, and I mean they can see it on the ultrasound too when they're a little further along and baby's like moving around and everything. But
Hmm.
it's just amazing.
It is. I mean, what a woman's body can do is amazing, right?
Yes.
So power to all the women out there. So
Yes.
when you come in here, we love to hear your stories. Every story is different, and every impact that you have in life, it's different walks of life. We like to hear everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we like to hear the stories to relate.
Yeah. And we're just here for support, no judgment. Everybody, we would love everyone, obviously to continue with their pregnancy, but sometimes that's not possible, and we just want to, always still show support.
What did you do in your rotation before this?
I did OB, and then I also did vascular. So
Okay.
totally different, but
Yeah.
still, it's ultrasound is very important for like diagnostic and just, like you said, like helping patients, making a difference.
Mm-hmm. So what made you want to work here at Sac Life Center? How did you get involved here?
I actually started off as a student here.
Oh.
So I did some of my rotation like hours here. And I really loved it here. And I think that, everything that they were doing here was amazing. And I feel like they are helping a lot of women and like, making a difference. And sometimes like when women are really scared and they feel like, maybe an abortion is my only option, like, I feel like giving them resources and letting them know like, hey, you're not alone. Like, I feel like it's just really nice,
Yeah.
So, and I've been here now for like almost 4 years. So,
Yeah. And now she is pregnant. She's
yes.
expecting. So she's at 22 weeks, which is
Yeah. So this is
this size, which is crazy. We were just talking about that. How these are so like crazy to hold, that physically
like,
hold what you're growing inside of you.
Even
so,
me holding, I'm like, wow, this is like
I
the
know.
size. Like, it's so cute.
It's so cool. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So amazing. So as you know, this is me and Jasmine. We show our patients this in the ultrasound room. It just kind of gives the patients the idea of how fast the baby grows every week. They double in size. Just to kind of see here that, wow, it's a baby. It's not just a group of cells. This one is 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and 10 weeks. And this is the stage that we most see our patients in, is the first trimester. We do see a lot of second trimester, but for the most part, we do show them this. Has this impacted a lot of your patients?
Yeah, sometimes even when I don't even mention it, because we always have it like right next to the desk, like even the dads always get involved and they're like, oh my gosh, is that how like tiny they are right now?
I know, right?
And they're always amazed. And then I, usually I'll tell, like, depending on how far along they're, I'm like, yeah, this is the size of your baby right now. And then they're always like, oh my gosh.
It's funny because it is really the men that be like, oh,
this
is my baby right here, like baby.
And they take a picture and everything, so it's nice.
So I've had a few undecided patients look at this and kind of change their thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Change their minds. Because like I said, we don't put pressure on people. We don't judge.
No.
We just educate, right?
Yeah.
So,
and just let them know, that there is help out there. Like, you're not alone. Like, that's not your only option all the time.
Yes. So that's important here at Sac Life Center, is all the resources and education that we give the patients.
Yeah, we just want them to make like an informed decision, and then really think about it, like process, and just know that there is so many resources out there. There is a lot of help, and not alone.
Yes. As I said in my other podcast, right, you kind of have to change your mindset here, because ultrasound in the ER or in the hospital setting, they don't connect with their patients like that. They scan you and tell you your doctor will go over your results, right?
Right.
Here, we sit with you, we educate you on our exiting paperwork, our packets, any questions, concerns, right?
Just building that connection.
Yeah, and they remember that because we've impacted them for the rest of their lives, right?
Yeah.
Because what we show them, how we help, a lot of them return.
What do you think would be one of your most challenging cases that you've had?
Well, here, I haven't been here that long, but one that's kind of really impacted me is a lady came in here, patient, and she was about 27 weeks, and she was a drug addict, living on the streets. This is her second abortion that she's wanted. The first one she had was she had to go to a different state because they had to do a surgical procedure that we didn't have here. And, you know, we really tried to help her to get all the resources she needed, but she was still abortion minded at 20, like what, 27 weeks. That's, I mean, show them the stage that's in. That is what she wanted to get rid of. That was really hard on me.
Yeah.
Because initially you can give birth at this stage. I mean, the baby would need a lot of help in the hospital, but it's just crazy to me, the people's stories and how you have to stop being so judgmental and listen and not be biased, as you would say. So that was something that impacted me. It was a heavy story for me.
That's really hard.
Yeah, that was heavy. And do you have a case that kind of you'll never forget?
Well, I've been here a little longer, so I feel like I've had like a
lot.
lot of hard cases. Yeah, I feel like, but I think a lot of them, you know, they do impact me. Like, and like you said, it's like very hard, especially like when someone's like further along, and you know, because sometimes we do have some patients who are pretty set, so there's really nothing that you can say or like really. It's just more of like just listening and showing that support, and then, you know, knowing that, you know, maybe they're still gonna go ahead and do that, but it's just, for me, it's just, you know, I just want patients to know that we're here for them. And,
exactly.
Even if it's just like to listen to what they have to say and everything. Because I've had a few hard cases, like you said, where I'm just like, oh, so sad. You know,
gives you a heavy heart, right? Like you just feel for them.
For sure.
So we're talking about a lot of things that are kind of heavy and sad. I wanted to ask you like about a good story. So is there a story that they came in here abortion minded and they decided to change their mind?
Yeah, we do have a lot of those too, you know, and a lot of the times it's just, you know, support, you know, or sometimes they're like, oh, you know, I'm in school, like I won't be able to do it, or like financially, like I can't, like, so they just kind of see all like the negative of it and not really so much of like, you know, this is your baby, you know, so but I feel like them coming in and then, you know, we like show support, let them know all the resources that there is out there, and even the help that we provide here, you know, being able to come and pick up diapers, wipes, clothes for their baby, and then basically anything they need, even the free classes that we offer and everything. So I feel like after, you know, knowing all of that, they're kind of more of like, you know what, maybe I can do this by myself, even if it's, you know, it is by themselves. So we do have cases like that where patients are like, they come in and they're really set on like, you know, I can't do this, but then they leave thinking like, you know what, like
maybe I can,
like, and this is my baby. And then especially after seeing the ultrasound and then seeing the heartbeat, or sometimes even seeing baby move, they're like, oh my gosh, you know, they're like, no, I need to keep my baby. This is my baby.
Yeah, that's great. I love stories like that. Obviously in our field, you know, we can't be biased. We can't show our emotions like that. We have to be, you know, we're medical professionals, but at the same time, working here, you can kind of connect with the patient, which is what I really like.
And even like on a personal level too. Yeah. Because then I'll just like, you know, let them know like myself, like, you know, like being in school, getting pregnant and things like that. And then they feel like they can relate, and then they're like, oh, you know, like if she did it, like I can do it, you know.
Same, you know, as telling the story, like I had 2 kids going to ultrasound school, and you know how hard that is. So, I mean, you get the mom guilt and all that, but it's possible. You just have to have the support and the resources. Which,
and the motivation just to keep pushing through.
And sometimes that's all you need to tell patients is you can do it.
Right.
I mean, you can do it. I know you can. Sometimes that's just all they need to hear is that those supporting words.
And knowing that, you know, like, okay, like, they're here for me, like I got this.
Since 1972, Sacramento Life Center's Community Health Clinic has been committed to ensuring that all women, especially those that are facing an unplanned pregnancy, have access to free medical care, support, and resources. Over 2,000 women are served each year, regardless of race, income, religion, insurance, or immigration status, thanks to the financial support of private individuals. For more information, please go to saclife.org.
So with like the hard cases, you know, us having to like, you know, be professional and everything, like what do you do to like kind of cope with everything?
So everybody has a different way of coping and de-stressing, right? So sometimes I sit there, reflect. Sometimes I'll pray. I'll pray to myself in the room when I'm doing the reports. I do exercise. That's one of my stress relievers, is going
Yeah.
to the gym. That's my
That's
me
good.
time to kind of like let everything go.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everybody deals with that kind of like heaviness differently.
Right.
We do have a support here. We do have a counselor that comes once a month and is willing to talk to us.
Right, which is always good to like know that we have
Yeah,
that too.
it's really good because I'm not one to outspeak my feelings. I really internalize everything, so it's kind of hard to be like, okay, so this is what I feel, but like I said, everybody deals with it differently. So how do you cope with the heaviness of our job?
I think also prayer, like
Yeah.
praying, like sometimes if I know, because a lot of times, like before going in the room with the patient, we
Mhm.
already know,
Yeah.
if they're abortion minded or if, they're happy to be pregnant. So
Mhm.
with my like abortion minded patients, I usually like pray before I go into the room, like just like, to know what to say,
Yeah.
know like how to be there for them. And so like they don't feel like judged at all or anything like that. So just kind of praying. And then even after, sometimes when I know that, for sure the patient, won't be continuing their pregnancy, I just kind of pray about it.
Mhm. I love the on our desk, our sonographer prayer.
Oh, yeah.
I read that and I'm like, that is a great prayer.
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
good
all
reminder.
around.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is our sonography prayer. It actually is really helpful. So I'll have Jasmine read that, and then we'll go over how it impacts people. It impacts our, kind of guides our mind to say the right thing and remember that we are here for people. So
Yeah. And it's nice to like read it and then.
yeah, I read that every morning.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, as another day is upon us, I ask you to watch over me. Please guide my eyes and my hands as I care for the bodies, heart, and souls of those I come into contact with. Let me show compassion and strength to those who are scared and uncertain. Let your grace shine through me as I touch the lives of others. Provide me with wisdom and careful observation so that I may see the source of pain in those I'm caring for. And be with me as I share news that brings others joy. Give me patience, give me strength, and give me understanding. Help me to hold firmly onto my faith when it's being tested. Above all, help me to somehow bless the lives of all who come to me for their care. All these things I pray in your holy name. Amen.
Very good prayer. It's very, very deep, but it's actually really, really good, especially considering what we do. It's like touches home, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when we're with patients, we don't push religion
No.
on anybody. We kind of read the room, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we don't push religion like on anyone, and like how you're saying, we read the room and stuff. But I mean, I personally don't bring up religion at all, really. For myself, it's just like I pray before, I pray after. But I don't really bring that up in the room. But I know that some people like can have like that connection where or if the patient is saying that they're religious or they're going to pray about it, then I think it's like it's okay to like bring it up or talk about it. But other than that, I usually don't.
Yeah, a lot of people probably read online that we're pro-life, right? Or pro-life clinic. So they get kind of intimidated to come here, but
Yeah.
we just want to let everybody know that we see all walks of life here. We don't just, judge you and side-eye you, right, when you come in here and you are abortion-minded.
Yeah, or
we
like
wanna,
push anything religious on you or
No,
anything.
we don't do that. We're here to support and guide and try to, educate and lay a hand on people who need, a tap on the back or a hug to say it's going to be okay.
Yeah, just that support and just sometimes all you do is really need to talk about it, and even that just helps. Just talking about it.
Yeah,
I do feel like we have a lot of hard cases, but we also have a lot of beautiful patient stories, or even just seeing babies move. Or I think the most excited one that I've been about is when I was able to scan triplets.
Yes,
because I was like, what? I've never because usually
That's
with
very
triplets,
rare.
it's very rare, or usually like if a patient went through like IVF, with which we
Mhm.
don't see patients that, you know, are getting like treatment and things like that.
Yeah.
So seeing like the triplets where the
Mhm.
patient came in thinking like, oh, I have, you know, they told me I'm having twins. So she
Yeah.
kind of already had an idea. It wasn't just one.
Yeah.
And then I was like, actually there's 3.
Oh my gosh.
So
Can
they
you
were,
imagine?
yeah, they were shocked. But that was exciting for me.
Yeah, that is really cool. And you
Yeah.
found the other baby. Oh, the
Yeah.
clinic missed it. That's
yeah. There
pretty
was,
cool. I'm pretty
yeah.
impressed, Jasmine.
I
That's
know.
that's a good finding.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's rewarding is
That was
when
a
you
fun
when
scan.
you feel like, oh, I am good at this job. Because sometimes in this job, it's you doubt yourself, or you're like,
Right.
is that right? Or oh, you know, because you're always learning. I mean, ultrasound
Mhm.
doesn't just stop after school learning. You always learn.
You're always learning.
You
Or
know.
something always comes up. So.
Yeah, and we always lean each other like, Jasmine, I seen this. Do you know it? Can you confirm this? Like, I'm always texting you
Yeah.
like, hey, is this how I should like report it? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I mean, there's always learning curves here. So
Definitely. Yeah.
thank you so much again for tuning into our second podcast as we are learning. Thank you for being a part of SAC Life Center. If you would like to donate, you can go to our website, because without anybody that donates, we wouldn't be able to run. So again, thank you for the donors. If you missed out on our other podcasts, we do have it posted on our YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to watch. Jasmine, thank you so much for coming on air with me. I know
No
this is
problem.
a learning curve and a learning process for both of us.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we got to talk about something that we relate to, as we're both ultrasound techs. So thank you.
No problem.